Welcome to the Beneath the Surface series, where you guys give me some cool idea or topic to talk about, and then I research the shit out of it, and then I come to you with my conclusions. By the way, if you want your idea heard next week, post in the comment section below, and you guys, like the shit out of some comments that you think would be really cool. Anyway, let's get right into it. You wanted me to talk about religion, so here's what I've come up with. And I really didn't have to do any research for this, because I've been doing a fair share of research for years now. But I guess the best way to start this off is to tell you what I believe in. And I believe that because of the fact it's 2014, I don't need to read some old fucking book that was written thousands of years ago in order to understand the meaning of life. I feel like we are so technologically advanced and science has came along to such a high degree and communication has gotten to such a point where you can almost pick and choose what aspects of religion that you like, whether it's Christianity in the fact that, it brings you a sense of community, or Buddhism, which is very heavily reliant on the idea of peace of mind, and, this life is suffering and being in a calm mental place, or Hinduism, which I think talks about how the world is an illusion, or a Taoist idea, which is about yin and yang and how evil is necessary for good, and vice versa. You can't exist without either of them. I'm very open to new ideas. And I think because of the way the world is right now, it's silly to just say, well, I'm going to read the Bible and that's the truth. Dude, have you read the Bible? There's unicorns in the Bible. Those bitches were fucking crazy. So I don't sign off on any one religion. I believe in a lot of things. I got into the law of attraction for a while, and I still am kind of into it. The idea that your mind has a huge influence on the world around you. And you don't want to get too deep into that because it can get kind of culty. But, I do think that the mind is incredibly powerful. Imagination can take you anywhere that you want to be. So to say, oh, well, that law of attraction stuff, that's complete bullshit. Well, it can get culty. And yeah, they claim that, quantum physics verifies the law of attraction. It really doesn't. But what's interesting is that people still sign off on either being a Christian or a Buddhist or, a Hindu or a Taoist. When in reality, just pick what resonates with you. I like the idea of community and helping each other and being nice to your neighbor, and that's very Christian. I like the idea of yin and yang, how you need positive and negative to balance each other out, and that the sole purpose of life is just to live. I think it's really that simple for me personally. But, I see so many people who are so dead set in what they believe in. And everyone does this, even atheists. I think atheists are equally silly people because they are saying, well, I don't believe in anything. I think you just turn into a tree when you die, you turn into worm food. Chances are you're wrong because science in and of itself is only a few hundred years old. And, the idea that energy cannot be created or destroyed, I mean, come on, man. If we find one instance of that in the infinite universe, then everything goes out of the fucking window. And, quantum physics has completely baffled scientists up until very recently, where you have particles that are in two places at once, and, you have entanglement where particles mimic each other at very long distances. I mean, it's weird. It's nutty to say the least. The universe is beyond complicated and vast. So for anyone to ever tell me that they have the meaning to life, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with these priests and these preachers and monks and whoever. If they tell you that they understand what this life is about, chances are they're fucking wrong, because it's 2014 and I don't base what I believe in on some silly book written a few thousand years ago, because those bitches were dumb compared to how we are today. You have the world of information at the palm of your fingers. I mean, you can get on your iPhone and learn about every religion you ever want to learn about. You can pick and choose what you believe in. So in my opinion, I think the best way to come to any kind of consensus on, what the true purpose of life is to look at the common threads of every religion. What do they have in common? And maybe, just maybe, those common threads are really what life is all about. But to sign off on one aspect of, a belief system, when there's thousands of religions on this planet, there's thousands of them, and our planet is small, so infinitely small compared to the rest of the universe. Our species is young. So to say that you understand, you don't. But maybe if you combine everything together and you look at the common threads, maybe we're onto something. I think combining science and spirituality is very powerful. I think that science is very great in order to understand how the world works, but it doesn't answer that why question. Why? Why? What created all of this? And then what created the thing that created all of us? I mean, where does it begin? Is there an end? Does an end even exist? Is it just infinite forever? Is the universe oscillating? And what I mean by that is the universe expanding and then contracting. I've had a few people who say they go on... I've heard a few people say that they went on some crazy psychedelic trips, and one of the key ideas with all of these people that did these really crazy hallucinogenic drugs is that the oscillating universe theory seems to be very present throughout all of these people who have had psychedelic trips. And, you know, I've heard people say, oh, well, if you do, you know, any psychedelic or hallucinogenic drugs, then you're fucking stupid. Well, maybe. But maybe you're tapping into something that you don't fully understand. You just don't know. So, religion is complex, and more wars have been fought in the name of a god or a religion than anything ever before. And I completely understand people who say, well, fuck Christianity. More people have been killed in the name of God. Or, you know, fuck Buddhism. You know, it doesn't make, you know, the idea that that this life is suffering. I mean, who wants to sign on to that? But of course, Buddhism goes much deeper than that. But it's hard. It's hard to figure out your place in this world, and it's hard to go through this life if you don't have a purpose. You know, a lot of people don't end up going for what they want in life because they don't believe in themselves and they don't believe in a higher power that might be able to carry them to the next level. I mean, in my opinion, one of the defining characteristics of quote-unquote successful people, because success is really just a measurement of how happy you are, but the people who have really built, you know, great things in this world or acquired a vast amount of stuff, even though it doesn't really matter, they typically are led by either what they call God. They say that, you know, God got me to this place, or they just believe in themselves to an unrealistic point that might even border on psychosis. So I think faith is very powerful, and I read an interesting statistic that said that religion will disappear by 2030 or 2040, that there are just more atheists than ever before. And that seems so backwards to me, because no one understands what's going on here. No one understands. So to pretend that you know is just not true. Atheists, scientists, Christians, they're all silly. Anyone that says they have the answers to life is completely silly to me. Now, I am completely open to the idea that I'm wrong. I am always looking for a new idea to maybe latch onto. And if something resonates with you, then that's powerful. If Christianity is your go-to place, then fuck yeah. If you read the Bible and you feel uplifted and, you know, you're ready to go out and conquer the world in the most positive and peaceful way possible and spread love and positive energy to everyone around you, then you know what? You should probably read that book and you should probably follow it to the letter if it's that powerful for you. But if you read the Bible and you read all the shit about unicorns and, you know, women being created out of ribs and it's like, what the fuck am I reading? Then don't follow it. I think that Christianity is silly, but I have really good friends who, you know, are high roller Christians. So it's hard for me to be like, well, you're wrong, because, they're really nice people, and that's what gets them through the day. And that's all you gotta do, man. What gets you through the day? What makes you the best you that you possibly can be? Is it God? Is it Buddha? Is it, the variety of Hindu gods? Is it paganism, where you worship the trees and the moon and the stars and the sun? Whatever makes you the best you. And that's all that matters. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I might be wrong on Hinduism saying that the world is an illusion, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, that does it for me. I hope you enjoy this video series, but as I said before, make sure to post in the comment section with your ideas for next week's video, and we'll bang it out, son. We'll get that going. More videos on the way, as always. Thank you for tuning in. Take it easy. Peace, guys.